away the ball from the opposition, and then obviously come back and play receiver on the other end, add another dimension to the Cleveland Browns offense. So for me and my money, give me Travis Hunter at number 2.
Yeah, feels like it's trending in that direction, but we'll have to see. Then finally, when we talk about Shedeur, would you rather see him drafted by the Saints or by the Steelers?
You know, Green, I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think when you look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, they've invested heavily in their offensive line over the past couple of years. I think that group is going to get better. Obviously, we know they went out and traded and signed DK Metcalf to go with George Pickens. You got Pat Freiermuth there. And so, for me, Shedeur Sanders is a guy that'll be able to push the ball down the field to those big weapons on offense. They still want to run the ball, but he'll be able to play action pass and push the ball down the field.
So let me just confirm this with Graziano. The feeling I'm getting, and again, all I do is I just amalgamate all of the conversations that I'm hearing and the opinions and everything else, is that the Steelers don't feel like they need to draft a quarterback at 21, which I think surprises most people who hear that.
They're in a similar situation to what I was just talking about with the Giants, right? Because they're coming off of Kenny Pickett. A couple of years ago, they felt they needed to draft a quarterback in the first round. They took Kenny Pickett. It didn't work out. So they have scars from that. So, yeah, if they're taking quarterback at 21, they want to be really, really sure. And they've done the work. They had Shedeur Sanders in. They've looked at Jackson Dart and Tyler Shuck and all the guys that we keep hearing about. Important to remember, Pittsburgh doesn't have a second-round pick.
Right.
So if they really like somebody at 21, they may be more – they're not a team that can wait, right, like the Giants or the Browns or the Saints, who all pick near the top of the second round. So Pittsburgh may if Shedeur Sanders fell to 21 – they may look at it and go, you know what? We had him rated higher than that. Let's go ahead and take him.
They don't have a second-round pick because they traded him for DK Metcalf, who was catching passes from Aaron Rodgers on a field at UCLA, and it's starting to look like those may be the only passes he ever catches. Wait a minute, D. Wood, why are you making that face?
Are we being serious right now? Are you being serious? Can you look at T.J. Watt, you know, like – Minka Fitzpatrick, all those guys, and you're going to trot out Mason Rudolph as your quarterback? Like, really? Really? Is that what we're going to do if you're the Pittsburgh Steelers right now? Is you're going to trot out Mason Rudolph as your quarterback when you got Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow in your division? Like, I'll be like, what the hell is going on in our organization right now where we're in a position where Mason Rudolph is our starting quarterback? We got to be serious. You got to add to the quarterback room.
Well, so that's the question. So, Dan Orlovsky, I was reading your notes last night, and I'm intrigued at the player that you are intrigued by for the Steelers as a possibility.
Yeah, as time has gone on, I'm more intrigued with the Steelers and Jalen Milroe than I was 2 or 3 weeks ago. I would start with this. I don't think that there's a team in the NFL that is in a worse situation when it comes to the quarterback position than the Pittsburgh Steelers. The only team that I can think about that's in the conversation is Cleveland. They got the second pick, okay? They got I don't think they'll take quarterback. They got the second pick. The reason I say Milroe, a couple things. Number one, the likelihood that he'll be there at 21. Number two, the receivers on the perimeter, both George Pickens and DK Metcalf. Could you imagine a quarterback with the ability to push the ball downfield like Milroe? And then the rare athletic ability that we're watching. He is not perfect. He is flawed. There's no doubt about it. No quarterback had more explosive runs downfield than Jalen Milroe last year. And this is a team and organization that has had to watch at least twice a year go, gosh, we got to play that guy Lamar Jackson again. We got to play Lamar again. And this is a guy that has rare physical talent when it comes to Jalen Milroe. 19 touchdown runs of 10 or more yards that led college football. 27 touchdown passes, 27 of 25 or more yards that led college football. So I understand he's flawed, but I don't think he's nearly as flawed as a passer as some people believe. He's not a finished product, but I just want to remind folks, he only started for 2 years. And in those 2 years, 2 different offenses. Yeah. This young man is rare physical talent.
But to sort of underline the point, if you're the Steelers and you draft Jalen Milroe, that does not necessarily mean I hope it doesn't mean you have your starter week 1. Right? Because, I mean, that's the thing.
Still going to be looking at Mason Rudolph, who I hope
you think he could start week 1, Dan?
Yeah, Greeny, this goes back to the conversation around, and sometimes we frame them as negative in the context of it. It goes back to when you get these dynamically athletic quarterbacks and you got guys on the outside like DK Metcalf and George Pickens, defenses can't get overly complicated on early downs. Arthur Smith, the Steelers offensive coordinator, loves the run game, loves to design the run game. So I think that you can, in many ways, build an offense that has got remnants of early Lamar stuff where their quarterback runs a big part of it. You'll get a little bit simplified defenses. We don't have to overthink this as well.
Okay, I have to leave it there because I'm up against the bottom of the hour, but obviously everyone's dying to jump in. There's lots to be said there. That easily could happen. If it did, it wouldn't surprise me that much. I'll leave it there. We're coming back with much more of it. Back to the hoops as well as we go. A disappointing dud by the Lakers on Saturday night. Was it a bad game or a bad sign? And is there one person in particular who deserves the majority of the blame? You'll hear the answer to those.
A firm afterpay. NFL insider Dan Graziano here to give us the goods right now. 3 days until the NFL draft in Green Bay. Questions still surrounding what the Giants will do with that third overall pick. They worked out 3 quarterbacks in Shedeur, Jalen Milroe, Tyler Shuck in recent days. What more can you tell us about the Giants' draft day plans?
Yeah, they worked that private workout led by head coach Brian Daboll for those 3 quarterbacks, and also Jackson Dart a couple of weeks earlier went through the same process. So those are the 4 guys to watch at quarterback for the Giants. Would they take Shedeur Sanders at number 3? It feels unlikely based on everybody I talked to with 3 days to go before the draft. Can't rule anything out completely, but it seems like these workouts are more about what you do with your second-round pick if you're the Giants, or do you trade back up into the first to get a guy like Shedeur Sanders if he slips a little bit. More likely they sit tight and take Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter, whichever one Cleveland doesn't take, and then address quarterback with that second pick. They just came off of Daniel Jones, who they drafted in the first round and didn't turn out to be the guy. The Steelers at 21 are in a similar situation, coming off of the Kenny Pickett experience where they drafted him in the first round a couple of years ago, and that's part of the reason they're in the predicament they are now, still needing a quarterback. They could be a team to watch for Shedeur Sanders at 21 if he gets there. They've done work on a lot of these quarterbacks. You see Louisville's Tyler Shuck here among them, but Pittsburgh also a possibility to maybe trade back. They already traded their second-round pick for DK Metcalf, so they may be looking to amass extra picks.
Okay, so the draft always gives us a bit of a surprise, sometimes a collection of them, whether it's teams wanting to draft into a position by trading away their draft picks, but also sometimes we see veteran players get drafted. Are you hearing anything about maybe some veteran players who might be on the move ahead of Thursday's first round?
Absolutely. The big one to watch is Kirk Cousins, Falcons quarterback, who's already been supplanted by Michael Penix Jr., who they took in the early first round last year after signing Cousins. Cousins has a no-trade clause. So if the Falcons want to trade him, they need his approval. So watch to see what happens after the first and possibly second round of the draft.